Hey, good morning. Good morning. Man, talk about waiting. They're great, but I did have to wait about an hour past when my appointment was. I apologize for that. Do a little session. Everything went well. The heart is still there. How's everyone doing? So we opened down here in the 63. Go down and test yesterday's low. What else is going on? So, big picture, big picture. We just did a look below and fail of 71.50 again. Heart's still ticking. Hey, I'm hard to kill, you know? A little duct tape, rotate the tires, and I'm off again. Hey, Dave, how you doing? Well, inventory's above us. Let's see what happens. Yeah, let's see if we can stay on. Sorry, my charts are a bit of a mess. Let me go clean them up. You know, one thing I've heard over the last couple of, well, actually, it's been for a few weeks, but a lot of people are really frustrated because sometimes they wait for an edge. Like here's an example, right? I mean, 7150 is one of my really important levels. But if you were looking at this chart, the candle, you know, we never got down, we never did the look below and fail of 7145. So if you were waiting for that edge, now it's trucking all the way back up to VWAP. It's frustrating. So I want to talk about that a little bit this morning. Let's see what this thing's doing. Back in the overnight range. So one of the trades that a lot of traders will take is the look below and fail of the previous day low or the overnight low. Now, where are there going to be sellers? There's going to be sellers before VWAP. So if it holds the overnight low, you take a little long. You know there are going to be sellers at the open. You know there are going to be sellers at the A high, right? Also, it's a Fed day, so it's a bit choppy. A little choppier than usual, right? You gotta really, really try and calm down, right? A nervous trader, an anxious trader, it doesn't work. In times of war, in these kind of times, around earnings, Fed days, war, you have a lot of factors that's going to influence how business is done. So if you can exercise a little bit of patience, right, it's going to save you a lot of money, right? Like I have one of my traders, and every time the market changes or shifts, he freaks out and he's like, what do I do here? What do I do here? What do I do here? Sometimes you just have to sit and wait. It's frustrating, right? Retail trading is probably one of the most frustrating jobs you can have. It's definitely one of the hardest jobs in finance. You know, it's very frustrating because we don't have any control. right? Yeah, it's like, for those of you who play cards, right? You're waiting for a good hand. So you don't really want to just throw your money away, right? And as soon as you start taking bad trades, it adds to the frustration, right? It adds to the frustration. It adds to the anxiety. You see your capital going down, or you start blowing up evaluation accounts. That's why when people say I want to quit my job and be a full-time trader, I'm like, no, don't quit. Don't quit your day job. Always have multiple sources of income when you're in this business. And there's a reason. The reason is because if you have multiple sources of income, then you're not desperate to take bad trades, right? Okay, next half hour opens. There's a seller right at that overnight low. Wow, look at that. Now let's see if we hold. You see down here where we took that stop? That's where the position is, down here under 55. So as we move lower, we're going to find the bid in this next half hour. Let's see, there's the middle of the opening range, the half hour range. There'll be a few bids around here. We're going to take this and try and sell it up here. We already did. Now we know that there's sellers at 61. So as it comes down, you're going to look for bids here at 54. Right? The trades that you take in this area, these are like kind of like B setups. The look below and fail of 45, that's an A plus setup. Now, why is it an A plus setup? Because that's where you get the best deal. That's where you get the best discount, right? In the middle of the zone is very hard to trade. And sometimes in this market, when it's got a lot of economic news and all that stuff, sometimes it takes forever for that edge to show itself. And it's frustrating. And it's a real pain in the ass. Embrace that. Laugh about it. Chill out a little bit. Because the more you push it, the more bad decisions you make, the more your capital just drifts away. Take your time, my friends. The market will change again, right? It definitely will change again. You just got to wait for the turns. Be there for the turn, right? Yeah, the standard deviations, like you can see, like there's a 56, 71.56. That's the first standard deviation down from VWAP. There's a little bit of a bid there, right? Size will break that. So if you're buying, it's very hard to trade off of standard deviations. That's the only problem. What I would use the standard deviations, if you say you were short 63, 62, and it came down to this 56 standard deviation, that's where you'd cover. I like using VWAP and the standard deviations to get out of trades, not to enter trades. Why? Because they're not fixed references, right? They're fluid, they change during the day. That's one thing to remember. When we clear VWAP, the logic is it's always on my levels. Those levels will match up with VWAP. Like here we go. If we came back up over VWAP here, TBD, right? If we come back up over VWAP here, and then clear 69, I'd be long 69 up to 75. But I'm not going to take the trade until it clears out the sellers at VWAP, because I know there's going to be sellers at VWAP. Does that make sense? I like using VWAP to get out of trades, or I like getting long after you clear VWAP. That's always nice. Like right here, the only trade I would take in the middle here is to build a position. Now, the problem with building a position is you need a larger account to do so, right? You need a larger account to build a position, and you need to be able to incur higher expenses than if you have a small account. Because sometimes when you're building, well, all the time when you're building a position and the trade starts going the wrong way, you have to cut contracts. That's expensive. That is what we call a business expense. Let's see if we can go and tickle that overnight low. There's still a seller at 60. So if I was buying 56, 57, I would be selling 59, 58. Right? There's no reason to hang on to trades in markets like this that are choppy. Make sure you have your sell orders out. Right? So say you bought a little position at 58. See if anybody wants to buy it at 60 and 3/4, 60 and a half. Put your orders in so they're in line. Remember, the CME uses what we call FIFO, first in, first out. So when you're in these trades, you want to get in line. You want to get your orders in the system, right? And if your orders don't get taken, then you can get out of your trades, right? There's no reason to be in a trade while the price is going down if you're long. There's no reason to be stuck in a trade when it's selling off if you're short, if it stops selling off. You have to really, really watch your back in this market. Things can change so fast. They can get out of control. It's really easy to blow up accounts if you don't know what you're doing. I'm starting to feel normal again. Doc says the heart's okay. Of course, they want to do more tests, but that's cool. So overnight inventory is in it of itself short, right? We even got more short now. Now remember, it is a Fed day, so traders will want to try and get rid of inventory, right, before the Fed decision, right? You always want to try and get rid of your inventory before a major announcement, right? So once again, if I was long 56, 57, I'd be out at 60, right? And 2 to 3 points is not a lot. It's not glamorous. But I'm telling you guys, 3 points on one E-mini contract is $150. If you do 5 contracts, right? Or even if you do 4 contracts, that's a $600 trade. All you got to do is do that trade once a day, and it's a $12,000 a month, right? Now that's just, I'm not saying that it's going to work every time. You will get stopped out. There will be expenses. That is the cost of doing business. But if you can learn how to trade small size at first, learn how to manage trades, learn when to trade, when not to trade, right? You're going to do yourself a favor, right? The other thing you should be doing is marking off where the sellers are. Right? You can see very clearly that there are sellers here at 62, right? Where they sold before, they will sell again, right? And now it's not always the same for buying, right? Exactly, X, right? If you're playing around, use the micro, right? If you're taking trades that are not at the edge, if you're screwing around, do yourself a favor and trade small so when you lose money, you're not going to lose a lot, right? If you're not feeling well, don't trade. If you're not mentally acute, don't trade. Retail trading, you have to have concentration. If you don't have concentration when you're doing this, if you're sick, if there's something wrong with one of your kids, you're fighting with your wife, for the love of God, don't do this, right? When I was on the desk, no matter what happened, I had to trade. Right? I've traded through earthquakes, building fires, all sorts of crazy stuff, right? But if I'm not there, my clients go to another trader. You guys are your own client. You don't have to do business unless there's a clear business reason, right? Now, if you realize you broke your rules, take a break. If you find yourself searching and hunting and going, oh, what if this, what if that, what if this, stop. Stop and take a step back. You have to self-police yourself, you know? It's one of those things, you'll thank me for it. Every morning I get up, and that's why I do the London session. I'm usually up at around 5, 6 in the morning. I go and do the London session, and I trade the micro. When I'm trading the micro, I'll be like, oh man, I really, I'm doing, sometimes I'll take 2 or 3 trades that get stopped out, and I'll go, oh, better tone it down. Right? Stop, take a look, see where you're going wrong. Am I over trading? Am I searching? Am I reaching? Am I jumping the gun before the edge? Make note of that in your trading journal. Keep track. Keep aware. Right? It's almost like when you turn on the car. The low oil light comes on. Don't start the car and drive for 100 miles. Right? You have to police yourself. Very important. This is a very hard market to trade. Right? So today we've got a massive amount of earnings, right? Coming out. Where do we have it here? We've got Amazon, Facebook, Microsoft, and Google. And they're all going to be out right after the close. We also have a Fed decision, right? Right. Really drill down. There's VWAP. So you can see they're going to be selling here, right? They're going to be selling 65, 66. That is expected. Okay. Now, what are we looking for next? Okay. The position is here. Right, we had liquidating inventory into wholesale hands. Shorts came in, wholesale came in, we came in. Now what are we waiting? We're waiting for a move over VWAP and acceptance over 71.69. Now, if enough people are short under VWAP, we're going to get a nice move up, but there's going to be sellers up here at 74. Remember that, okay? Sell into strength. Always sell into strength, right? You want to think a little bit like a villain, right? You paid a buck for something, somebody offers you a $1.50, sell it, especially in this market. Unless you have a large account and you are practiced and skilled and you have what we call trade management skills. Now, I think tomorrow, keep your fingers crossed, my voice. Let's do a little session tomorrow on the devil's in the details. Okay? I'll announce it in the morning when I wake up. See how I sound. And if I don't sound like Donald Duck, we'll do a session tomorrow. Probably around 11 o'clock if that works for you guys, okay? Details. Next week we'll get back to our regularly scheduled programming. And we'll do some work on holding trades longer, building position management, trade management. I need to get back into all those things with you guys. It is more of a breakout. You're right, Ronan. Right? Yeah, exactly, LC. There's going to be a seller at 73, just like LC said. It's good to have you. Spend a little time watching how this works. It'll make a big difference. You can see how small the candles are getting. See how small they are right here? It's a little slow, right? So you can see there is a seller at VWAP. Now let's see, when it sells down, does it hold the overnight low? Right? Keep track of that. Hopefully, as we get close to the summer, fingers crossed that the conflict starts to ease and things get back to normal. Today there's a lot of, like they said in Bloomberg this morning, if you go, I posted it in the stocks in the day trading area. I posted that about an hour ago. They said 4 of the biggest U.S. companies, Alphabet, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, are going to report after the bell. If they hit at the same time, it'll all play out in 80 seconds, right? So it's going to be hectic. So most people, the large institutions, will be saving their bullets for that. Right? That's why it's kind of slow and choppy here. Nobody really wants to commit a lot of capital. So knowing that And knowing that margins are also increased, right? You still have raised margins, right? You have raised margins. When you have those raised margins, you have less people participating. When you have less people participating, exactly, Elsie, right? You got you got less customers in the store. It's like daddy took the credit card away. So there's less people playing around, there's less follow through, right? So just chill out. You know, if I didn't have you guys, like, I'd be out walking around in the sun, right? Don't be afraid to take a day off, right? Take it easy. You know, the market's not going to fold up and switch towns like a circus, right? It's always going to be there. Someday, some days business is great. Some days it's kind of crap. It's just like any other business. Things will get better. I got reading glasses. The screen's so much more clear now. Yeah, so next week things will start getting back to normal a bit. It's always better trading when you can see the screen. These glasses are great. I got them on Amazon for like $5. Quite amazing. It's always better trading the next day when you have money in your account. Always remember, you know, like old man Thompson told me, he was 74 years old. This guy, you know, he had made $600 million over his career. His sons ran the firm, but he still went to work every day. He said, "Listen, kid, you don't have to make money today, but you got to be there for tomorrow. Because tomorrow's going to come, and if you screw up, you're not going to be there tomorrow. Make sure you have money to take advantage of business the next day. You don't have to make money every day, you know? Just don't blow all your money that day chasing stupid business decisions, right? Take your time. Over time, you will make money." And I've seen guys start out, they could barely make their draw. 5 years later, they're doing 100, 200 grand a month. You know? All right, we're poking our head over VWAP. Now, yesterday's cost basis and the overnight cost basis are in the same area. So I would say that is a legitimate target up here in the 72, 73 area. There will be sellers here at the close because everybody can see it. Exactly. Yeah, and like Uncle Barry would tell me, you know, there's always another bus, but you can't get on the next bus if you're stuck under the wheels of the last one, right? They'll come. Now I understand a lot of people, because you spend so much time sitting in front of these screens, right? It drives you crazy and you're not making any money. I get that. It's not easy, right? Hang in there. We all go through the same thing. It'll come. Let's see if we can crawl our way back over VWAP. Just remember, if you are long, this move, get your sell orders out. Because most probably they'll be at seller at 69.25. And there'll for sure be sellers up here at 72. Okay? Make sure you get your orders out. Get them in the system. You'll see the offer starting to lift. As the offer lifts into the next half-hour period, let's see. Got a bit of a seller at 68. That's okay. I mean, if I was long 66, I'd be selling 68. If I was long 65, I'd be selling 67. There is no shame in making money, even if it's a small amount. Don't get sucked into this. I have to hold trades for 30 points in a market that's not going to give you 30 points. Right? Just relax. It'll all come together very nicely. Give it time. You'll be surprised. Oh, yeah, thanks for reminding me, Espil. I got to do a video on thin books. Actually, we'll cover that tomorrow. Yeah, just keep turning up. Exactly, Dave, exactly. Keep turning up. Just show up for work every day. It will get better. Okay? Trust me. When I started doing this in 2012, God, it was horrible. 2012 to 2014, 2015, those 3 years, oh my God. You know, I was starting to really lose hope because I couldn't get any good education. Sure, there was Dalton, but he never told you where to take the trade. He never explained why the trade works and why it doesn't, right? And he was probably the best teacher out there. So I was getting very disillusioned, you know, and it took time. I was in front of the screen 18 hours a day. I was looking after my mom, and good thing I was in Saskatchewan. It was minus 40, so you couldn't go outside anyway. So I had to sit in front of the screens. I'd just sit and watch and make notes and sit and watch and make notes. It will come together. Now, all of you who have just joined the room, right? Please check out in the JJ, where is it here? There is a document. I think it's in... You know what? I'll repost it. There's a 5-step method. If you stick to that, if you do the same 5 things every day, here we go. There's 69.25. I'm going to repost it here. You got to tell people where to take the trade and why, right? And I'll put it in... I'll put it in the news and commentary area. Basically, that's your discipline. You do the same thing every day, and it really keeps you on track. Short 69. Nice. Well done. You'd be looking for bids at 65, right? There's a small set of single prints here. It's a tiny short position right here. See that? Where we took the A high, the shorts are trapped underneath that. That's why the C low can't get down to the A high, because the shorts are trapped under there. If that breaks, we'll come back down to the open. If it doesn't break, we'll rotate back up to 69 and a quarter. Well, that's going to be it for me today, folks. Sorry it was only half an hour, but I think I've kind of worn out the old voice with talking. I'll be back around 2 o'clock. I don't think I'll do a Zoom, but I think it's going to be a pretty calm Fed day. And then hopefully if I'm still awake, we'll check out the close. I'll start posting the stocks that are got earnings. I'll put that on Twitter. Thank you, folks, for your patience. Yeah, I should go get some exercise before my girlfriend kicks my butt. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for your patience. And stay out of trouble, okay? Bye for now.